administration actually believes it has accomplished something. It hasn't. On the contrary, President Obama has relinquished American standing, neglected America's responsibilities as the guarantor of international security. Article goes on. Well, there's no getting around it now. Obama contends with arc of instability unseen since the 1970s, says the Wall Street Journal. Militias and rogue generals in Libya, Hamas versus Israel, Hezbollah and Assad, and Iran against Sunni rebels in the Caliphate, the prospect of Iranian bomb, war in Ukraine, withdrawal from Afghanistan, China bullying its neighbors. Such is the extent of global disorder today. It's 3 a.m., and your children are safe asleep. Hillary Clinton's campaign imagined in 2008. But there's a phone in the White House, and it's ringing. Things are happening in a dangerous world. Who do you want answering the phone? Today, we know the answer. The phone isn't ringing in the White House, it's ringing in the Kremlin. And the man answering it is Vladimir Putin. That's a pretty good article. I like that. Not only, ladies and gentlemen, not only is the president just flat out missing in action, this guy makes Jimmy Carter look like a hell of a leader. Not really, but you get my point. What? Where will we be in 3 years? Look at the damage this president has done in 6 years, 5 years. Where do you think we're going to be in 3 more years? How much more damage will this president do? It just seems like we could just go from one catastrophe to the next, and none of which, ladies and gentlemen, is still off the burner. We go from one fire to the next, and none of them are being put out. Not one has been put out. I don't pretend to know all the answers. If I knew all the answers, I'd run for president myself. But it doesn't take you long listening to this show to realize I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box. But I got a lot of heart. And I got a lot of common sense. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't unilaterally act on any of my suggestions without, that I mentioned earlier, that I wouldn't unilaterally act on them without getting some input from, some awful smart people. Don't get me wrong. I don't presume to know the answers. But I do presume to know that this president doesn't have any. And if he continues, if he's continued to be allowed in office, which, most likely going to happen, I don't see John Boehner growing a pair anytime soon. We're going to be in terrible shape by the end of this next 3 years. We're going to be in bad shape. And it might even be worse than that. Might even be worse than that. We'll see. Only time will tell. And we come back from the break. Got a couple more stories I want to get to before the end of the show. Going to start a 3 or 4 part project tonight here when we come back from the break. Video I stumbled across this week. I want to start sharing with you. It's a long video. I like to call it eyewitness history. And when we come back from the break, I'll share that with you. But before we go to break, here's another little story. Coming back on shore. Story off of excuse me, Alex Jones InfoWars, which I'm not a big fan of. Not a big fan of conspiracy theorists, although it doesn't, you don't need a whole lot of. It's not a big stretch under this administration with its lies and deceptions and criminal acts, power grabs, this president is a conspiracy nuts, Disneyland. And I'm not a huge fan of Alex Jones, but the only reason I'm doing this story is because they have a local news video to go along with it. Armed Homeland Security agents in community outreach to let people know they're in the area. We are in the area. We just want to let you know that we are here. News channel WNCT-9 received calls from alarmed residents in response to reports of numerous DHS vehicles parked outside a bankruptcy court in Greenville, North Carolina. However, the heavy presence was not because of any specific threat associated to the building. DHS officials, which it's not Department of Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security stormtroopers, DHSS. The second S is silent, though. See, that's why you don't see it on their trucks. You don't see it, on their buildings. It's the DHSS. And they just come out in force to let the people know that they are in the area. DHSS officials told the station that armed Homeland Security agents were out in full force as part of their community outreach to let people know we are in the area. Yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it?
The Heavy police presence outside the bankruptcy court. We got several calls, so of course we checked it out. Several Homeland Security cars were stationed outside of the bankruptcy court and courthouse in Greenville, but not because there was a danger. Homeland Security officers tell 9 on Your Side they were there as part of their community outreach to let people know that they are in the area. They also were there to remind people that if they see something, say something, especially when they see anything suspicious happening outside of a federal building.
Yeah. They're just there as part of the see something, say something outreach programs to let people know they're in the area. DHSS. That's kind of cool. Just letting you know they're there. You know, reminding people to snitch on their neighbors. You know, if you see something, say something. You see those tea parties? You call the DHSS. I'm just saying. Yeah, we're almost there. We're not quite, but we're almost there. Anyhow, my name is Anthony Schindler. This is the Patriot Addiction. Gonna go to the break with a public service announcement from the Obama administration. Yeah, I think you'll like this.
Hello, this is the IIAP, the Illegal Immigration Assistance Program, a taxpayer-funded division of Oaknut. For Spanish, press 1, Portuguese 2, Arabic 3, Farsi 4, French 5, Swahili 6, German 7, Italian 8, and if you insist on English, please stand by. If you're thinking about illegal immigration, be careful when you're choosing the nation, because breaking the law in some countries is frowned upon. Imagine that. Sneak into China, they'll call you a spy and ship you to Mongolia till you're dying in the Sudan. They'll hang you and the camel you rode in on. Yeah, and don't go hiking and enter Iran, or you might never be heard from again. And in Mexico, you might face a firing squad. Forget all about going to North Korea. That's a great example of a bad idea. So when it comes down to it, there's only one option you got. Yeah, come to the USA. There's no penalty to pay should you get caught illegally immigrating. Come to the USA. It will be your lucky day, cause when you get in, there's lots of goodies waiting. Like health care, welfare, free education, help with your voter registration and driver's license and credit cards and license plates for your car. Lots of jobs for you to do and employers who'll turn a blind eye to. Come to the USA. No need to worry about the Constitution. We'll help you start a house of prostitution, if that's the kind of work that you want to do. You see, those gringo infidels are crazy. They'll give citizenship to your new baby. So you see, there's really only one choice for you. Come to the USA. There's no penalty to pay should you get caught illegally immigrating. Come to the USA. It will be your lucky day, cause when you get in, there's lots of goodies waiting. Yeah, you can get public housing and cable TV and food stamps and even government cheese. The borders are a swinging door. Go home for a visit and come back for more. There's sanctuary and amnesty. Bring the whole family eventually. Yeah, come to the USA. This has been a public service message sponsored by Oaknut, dedicated to the collapse of the American way of life. Yeah.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back